What's up, everybody? Logan here again, coming at you with another video today, and we're going to go into how I made $800 in the last 2 hours of the trading day today. Today is Friday, July 8th. Relatively low VIX today. I did call these trades out in the Discord. You guys can find the link below if you'd like to join. I could go over them, but we had a really nice end of the day today. And we had a good trade put on in the morning as well. So it was a pretty good day overall for us. We'll jump into my charts. We're going to look at the math that I do before I enter these. And then also take this strategy with more of a grain of salt. This is like more quick money. And I don't really believe in quick money, honestly. This trade, honestly, though, was not very stressful. And I'll go why I made these decisions. Looking at the max pain as well, and that's something we were talking about in the Discord, where the max pain was at 3,900 today. That's basically where the market chopped all day, because Mark, which we call in the Discord, is like the market makers, right? So Mark, the market makers want the stock, like they want max pain to happen because they want to just churn your theta on these options. They don't want you to make money. The market makers are not helpful. They're not for you. Like, they are literally there to screw you. So it's kind of like the house when you're gambling, right? Like, the house is also a gambler, but the house wants to win more than you. So let's hop right into this. We'll get into my strike. So I took this trade at 13:38, which is 1:38 Eastern time. I filled a bunch of these. So for 15 credit, I filled 15 call credits at 39.35 when we were at 38.94. And then I took some 38.60, 38.50s for 25 credit. I got 15 of those. And just to get the blood pumping at the end of the day, this little gambler in me took a 38.90 when we were at 3,900 for a nice 25 credit, which is a nice 5% return. And you guys can see, if I go to the trade tab down here at the bottom, you can see all of the strikes. You can see I made 770 on SPX, and then I did also have a SPY position as well that you guys can see on my monitor tab as I click over to here. So that's that 794, $800 on $15,700, which comes out to 5% return on my money today. And, you know, I'm a big fan of, when it comes to 0DTE, not using more than 10% of your account in any trade. So that was about 10%. I run about 150K in this account right now, and I just slowly stack, and then I withdraw my funds. So that's what I'm going to do for this, is withdraw my funds. If you guys want to come trade with us, come check out the Discord. So as you guys can see, I have a lot of my, ADDs here, my volume distribution. I have my tick charts, and I really didn't use these as much, as more just like the price action. But this is the main chart, as I always touch on in all my 0DTE videos. And you can see here, I took that trade, like I said, 13:38. So it was on this candle as we were deciding and hovering around these moving averages. You guys know we do not like to move too far away from these moving averages, right? So I immediately started shorting when we were at this 38.95, like I said. And then I also went long. And if you're like, Logan, why'd you pick 38.60? Well, I wanted to make sure that we were underneath this moving average right here, my 34-day. I go over it all the time, but this is to show you guys it's a moving average exponential on my 10-day, 30-minute chart. So I'm going to put myself down here at 38.60. I would have went lower, but there just wasn't money to like put myself at this support level. So granted, here's our resistance for the day up here at this 39.20. So I also knew that, if we're going to break through that, then I can be cautious. But until then, there's no reason to think we're going to go above this based on the heavy rejection we got earlier. Plus, we like to hover around these moving averages as tight as possible. I touch on it on every single video, right? Also, the expected move for the rest of the day when I took these trades was 15 points. I made sure I gave myself over 30 points on each side. With 2 hours to go, I want to make sure I was 2 times outside the expected move at that current moment to give myself a mathematical edge. And as you guys can see, we did continue to rise, and we went up about 15 to 20 points up before getting shut down and then selling off into the close. And that max pain was hit at 3,900. So I could have been a little more patient, but the credit only rose to like 40 or 50. At one point I got in at 15, the Discord got in at 30 by the time I called it out. we'd gone up further, and then that put credit immediately was worthless within the first like 30 minutes of this move. So it's nice to have one side do really well, of course, because it's an iron condor where you have the call credits up here, you have the put credits down here, and just a nice smooth ride into the close. So this was the chart that I used. Like I said, we like to stick as tight as we can to these moving averages. Don't overthink that, right? Just set your positions, set what you would do if you were to get tested, right? And use your math to get yourself in and out of these positions. So I was going to close that position if it got up to about a to 39.20 and broke through. It got close to 39.20, never even got close to breaking through. The buying was not very strong at the end of the day, and then we sold off towards that 3900, which was basically our mean for the day, considering that's where we opened basically in this market today. So immediately sold off, then went long on this candle right at support here. It was at 386 level, which is 38.70, but this has been very strong support through this rally over the last couple of days. Once we crossed over it, we really don't like to go under it, and you can see we bounced off of it twice. Still ran into resistance as we're chopping, but this is how you use these charts, and this is how I determine my strikes, right? That is probably the two biggest questions I get. How do you read these charts, and how do you determine your strike prices when you're trading credit spreads or any sort of day trading move? And I don't like to play naked options because it to me feels way too risky. I'd rather define my risk and then know where I would stop out. Same with the put side. I knew here that if we were to come down and break 38.80, I'm getting out of my 38.60s immediately, right? If we lose the support, there's a good shot we go to 38.47. But we didn't, right? We continue to hold up. So me being the disciplined trader I am, held both these positions into the end of the day, walked out with $800, posted that in the Discord. So that is how I picked these strikes. Like I said, was risking 10% of my account at that time. So I made about 0.5% on my entire account in the last 2 hours of the day. That's way more than I can ask for. $800 is a really good chunk of change for 2 hours. It's $400 an hour. So that is how I made these trades. And then I already had shown you guys the P&L. I showed you guys the account statements for this trade and how I was trying to close these, just in case the market got crazy on SPY, but I ended up letting those ride into expiration. They're completely fine right now. Nothing to worry about. And then, yeah, this end of day trade was basically the same thing. I took this with 18 minutes to go at 38.90. And if we go back to the charts here, you can see 38.90s right here. And I had this level of support. If 38.96 was to get broken, I am out of that trade. The second I see 38.96 on here and see that the price action's drifting down, granted, like this happened, I think it was around 3,900 just at the end of the day. So last 30 seconds, this is going to be worthless essentially, but got a nice 5% on that one, even with the market going away from me just a little bit and chopping within this little 10-point range, probably closer to 7 points. But that is how I find my entries with these candles. You just have to have a plan when you go into every trade. Where am I going to stop out? Am I going to roll this? How am I going to manage my risk? Because you should think about that in every single time, every position you put on. And it's really, I don't want to say like trading is easily the hardest thing you're ever going to do in your life, in my opinion. So I think you have to be so disciplined when it comes to entries and exits. And that's why I only take these 0DTEs in the last 2 hours if we're in a range bound day. Because if we're not in a range bound day, you can see the price just continue to steam up on you like you could have gotten on this day where maybe you tried to short at 38.40 and it ran all the way up to test you at 38.70 before shutting down. You could have got stopped out here, but you want to place yourself in good positions to where like right here, right, we're testing support and it jumps back off. So grab a put credit spread. Anytime we're testing resistance and we can't break through, it's a good time to grab call credits. I had the earlier day resistance here, so I could place myself at some 39.35s. So I am totally cool with taking 0.5% of my account into growth today. It just took 2 hours to do so. If you guys have any more questions on this, please leave a comment below. And then we're also starting a 0 DTE challenge in the Discord if you guys would like to follow along. If you like day trading, if you like short-term trades, just because this market's super difficult to swing trade. I've only been swing trading like a couple $100 here and there, just because I don't like to give my money away. And I'm just not a big fan of seeing the market down 3% when I wake up. I'd rather than have that as a day trading opportunity to make a few $1,000s or a few $100, whatever my risk tolerance is feeling like that day based on the price action. So that's one thing that I really like to take into consideration when it comes to why I made these trades today. So that's going to be everything for me in this video. If you guys could leave a like, a comment, and subscribe below, I would greatly appreciate it. And I will see you guys in the next video.